welcome back. Come on in. We're cooking some dinner. This is what I ate as a kid, so it brings back wonderful memories. And so you start off, so this is our side dish. It's potatoes with green beans, but they're flat green beans, Italian green beans. And I don't have any fresh, so I'm using the ones out of the can. And I'll show you that, and we'll talk about it in a little while and give you some tips on all that. I'm gonna start with my bacon. Now this is pancetta, which is an Italian pork bacon cut in chunks, and it's very high in fat. So it's gonna melt down or release the fat or render the fat into the pan. Then we're gonna fry the onions in it. Then we're gonna add the potatoes. It's gonna go a little low so the fat will come out, and then the meat that's left turns into little crispy bits in the bottom of the pan. So it'll take it a bit, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to do all of that. I'm not gonna cut my potatoes till right before I put them in, because if I cut them now and then they sit on the counter, they're gonna oxidize, they're gonna start turning brown and starchy. And I don't want that. I want them to be pretty and white with my green beans in there. So I'm just gonna set this aside, and we're gonna talk about our meat, our main course, our protein. So we love sausages, and one of the things that we love is we always like to have the potatoes and green beans. And we like our sausages on the side. And I'm not making sausages today because that is a whole nother process that we do, but I'm not gonna do that. So what I've decided to do is we're gonna make it up as if we're going to tube it, but instead of tubing it, we're gonna make patties out of it and then fry the patties. So we will be making a Cumberland sausage patties, maybe. So basically, Cumberland sausage is a sausage that we ate in England. I love them, one of my favorite things, because it's fall now and sage is coming in and it's time to have sage, and I love sage. So it's got a lot of sage in it, a lot of black pepper. So the three main ingredients, spice-wise, for the Cumberland sausage is the sage, black pepper, and it has nutmeg. Lots of nutmeg. Ooh, we are frying up. Let me see. Let me turn this way down. You can see in there, but you can see how the fat is starting to render. There, that's what we want. We want that good fat. Turn this down so it'll go slow. Not as hot as that was. So anyway, I have my spice blend here. I've already got it ready to go. I have 1 tablespoon of salt, kosher salt. I've got 1 teaspoon of freshly ground nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, 1 teaspoon of freshly ground white pepper. I've got 1/2 teaspoon of ground sage and 1/2 teaspoon of ground thyme. I also have fresh sage and fresh thyme here we'll be using. So I've got in my big bowl right here, I have 4 pounds of ground pork, and I just bought this in the regular grocery section. And this is what I'm gonna put my seasoning in. I'm also gonna add a little Guinness stout or stout beer to it for a little liquid, and some breadcrumbs. And then we're gonna mix it all up. And if we were making actually tubing sausage, then we put it back in the refrigerator, let it get nice and cold. I'm gonna go ahead and add my onions into my pork fat. If you don't have pancetta, you can always use just regular bacon. Just regular bacon, just cut you some up, put it in there, let it render. While that's going, I'm gonna cut my potatoes. And I'm just gonna cut these in quarters. Nothing big, just cut them in quarters, like that. So good. I'm going to go ahead and add some pepper to this and a little bit of salt. Just a pinch there. Just some fresh ground black pepper going in. And I want to put that in now so the oils will release. The oils from the pepper release into the oil from the pork fat. Here we go. Now I'm going to put in my potatoes, so they're ready to go in. And these don't don't take very long. We're just going to cook them to fork tender. And I'm going to turn my flame back up a little bit. There we go. And I am going to stir them up a little bit and get them all good and coated. And then I'm going to put the water on them. And I'm just putting enough water to just barely cover the tops. Just like that. And we'll stir them up every once in a while, make sure they're all in there. And we're just gonna let it simmer, come to a simmer, and let the potatoes cook. So now, while I've got my cutting board over here, I'm gonna take these little leaves right here, my sage leaves, and I'm just gonna grab them and put them all in a little pile, kind of squish them all together, and I am going to just cut them really, really thin, like so. And this should come out to about a tablespoon of sage, and since we like sage, I don't care if it's more than 1 tablespoon. I like the greenness going into my meat, and I can see it in my sausage. So there we go. Now I can come back and go the other way. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I'm gonna go one more right through the middle. Now I don't have to do that with the thyme because it's already just little bitty leaves. I'm just gonna toss it all right in there. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna toss all this in here with my pork. And yes, I'm just going straight in with my hands. They do wash. Here's all my thyme, it's going in. So Cumberland sausage is something, I think it comes from Cumberland or Cumbria. I don't know how to actually say it, Cumbria, England. And it's a very old recipe. It's been around for years and years and years. I'm just going to mix this up real good. Then I'm going to add my spice blend to it. I'm going to add a little bit of that beer, and then I'm going to add a little bit of the rusk, or for us it would be panko because I don't have any rusk, which is now I have a friend who does this with bratwurst, but he actually buys the bratwurst, takes it out of the skin, and makes patties out of it that way. And then they eat bratwurst burgers. So then there's go. That's about 3/4. And I'm just gonna mix this all up, just like this. So for me, it's about the sage and the nutmeg together. And I just love this big giant bowl. I've had this thing for 25 years. And I use it for everything. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of this stout. You can do water. There, what is that, about 4 ounces? That was 4, maybe 2 ounces. Makes it nice and sticky. And moistens it up. Gosh, it smells so good. I can't even describe how good it smells. It's such a unique combination, but the flavors just come together. And it is the beginning of fall. So there we go. We love our sausages all year round though. And I like mine now with Cumberland sausages, mostly like bratwurst, they're not cold smoked. They're tubed and they're put on the griddle, the flat top of the grill, or a wood flame, and they're cooked then. They're not cold smoked and then reheated again. So I'm just gonna keep messing with this pork because I want it to be sticky so it'll hold together. Then I'm gonna make me some big giant meatballs that I'm gonna flatten so I can have me a nice big patty. It's gonna be like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these ready to go. And we're gonna do 4 of them, and then I'm gonna put the rest in the refrigerator for tomorrow because they'll keep. And you can freeze them like this too. So, and there's one right there. And there's our 4 patties that'll go into the hot iron skillet. So I am going to go wash my hands and I'll be right back. So while my skillet is heating up here, I'm going to show you here my little trick for my mustard. We are going to, this is my little tip, spice it up a little bit. We're going to add a little bit of this Guinness stout or this stout in there. We're going to stir it up really good. That is going to take that spicy brown mustard up a notch or 2. Whoops, I spilled it. Enough to give it a whole nother dimension. Now look at that sauce. That is perfect. Yep. Now with all hamburger patties, pork patties, sausage patties, same thing, we're going to put them in there and we're not going to touch them. We're going to let them get crispy on one side. I do rotate them. Once they release, I will rotate them from the outside to the inside. And then once they've been cooking really well for about 3 minutes, they're good and crispy, then they get flipped at that time. Again, we don't touch them, and then they come out. Down, make sure you got full contact. Make sure you've got plenty of space between each one of them. Yes. We'll see. Oh yeah, 158 is what it says. So we're all good. This one needs to go a little longer. Now while that last one is finishing up, we're going to add our beans to our potatoes. So I have my green beans here, and they were canned green beans. So they're very soft. So if you put them in when you boil the potatoes, then they're just going to fall apart. So they're very soft. Straight out of the can. I've drained them, and they're just going to go right in. We're going to stir them through. They're going to get warmed up. It won't take but a second or 2, and then they'll be ready to eat. Stir these up good. Stir them all around. Oh, that looks so good. Now remember, canned beans are pretty salty, so I would not be adding salt. If you want more salt, you can add salt when they get to your plate. And we'll just let that sit there for a minute. Put the lid on it. Tip our last one here again. Oh yeah, we're there. We're done. Turning this off. And here we go. And here's our 4 little patties. Our Cumberland patties. Ready for dinner? I think we're ready for dinner. This looks so good. I hope it tastes as well as it looks. Here's our green beans and new potatoes, and you can see how juicy they are. That's how they're supposed to be. Have that nice gravy on them. And you can put them in a separate bowl if you want. Put them in a little dish on the side, or you just put them on your plate and let the juice run them around. Got my Guinness for my stout. And then here is our patties. And don't they look great? I'm just can't wait to cut into it and see how we're doing. And then of course we got our mustard. You just can't have sausages without mustard. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna cut it in. But here it's so crispy. Oh my gosh, the outside is wonderful. And look at that. Oh, that looks wonderful. I'm hoping. I think we got that spot on. That is so good. The sage and the nutmeg, everything is blended. It's not overwhelming. The pork is nice and juicy. Dark, rich flavor. A little mustard. This definitely brings the fall in. That was so good. What a fun combination. Your family will love it. Give it a go. You're going to love it. See you next week. Bye.